Welcome everyone to the Moldex3D webinar series. My name is Alex Baker from the Moldex3D North America office here in Farmington Hills, Michigan. And today's we're going to be looking at some post-processing tips and tricks. If you're an existing user, this is going to be a great webinar for you to get more familiar with some of the features in Studio, not specifically in 2025, although there are some new features that I'm going to be showcasing in 2025, but a lot of these tips and tricks are for features that have existed for a long time. So if you haven't quite upgraded to 2025 yet, this is still a great webinar for you to get more familiar with some of those features in Moldex3D that you might not be as familiar with, or maybe you haven't noticed before. Okay, most of this is just going to be a live demo. So I'm just going to showcase like where these features are in the UI and how they interact and all these sorts of things. But generally speaking, there's 10 sections that I'm going to be going through. I have a list over on the side here that I have for each specific feature in these lists. So I'm not only going to be going over 10 features. There's going to be something like 25 features that I'm going to cover in this webinar. So we're going to look at some project structure management, post-simulation tools, fill animation tools, air zone volume, which I think is something that's very underutilized right now, inspection tools, things like clipping, slicing, isosurface, those sorts of things, probe interactions, XY plot manipulation, the compare function, and maybe some use cases there, measurement tools such as distance, flatness, perpendicularity, which is new in 2025, and then deformation, things like exporting the deformed model. We're going to go through all of those in this webinar, so hang tight. I am going to be covering a lot, and it might be going a little bit quickly, so if you do have any questions or if you want me to rehash any features that I showcase here, you can ask those in the chat section. I'll be happy to revisit those at the end of the webinar. All right, so I have a demo project here. I think we are all pretty familiar with this. If you've looked at some of the content in Moldex3D on our YouTube channel and videos and such, we love this model. So the first thing I'm going to go through is the run folder organization. All right, so this is something that I think is not very prevalent in the UI, something that's not like in your face. It is a very useful tool, and everybody that's used this function, I've gotten a lot of good feedback for being able to structurally organize your runs. So let's say I have a project that has a lot of different runs in it. You know, some of these projects can get to 50 runs, 100 runs. I don't really think there's a limit to the number of runs that you can have in a project, although the file size gets absolutely massive very quickly. But something that's not very isn't utilized very often is the ability to organize these runs in a series of folders. This was introduced in 2024. And you can access this by right-clicking on the run header, or I'm sorry, on the project header all the way up at the top here. And now I can hit project summary.